Previously on Aberrant, Atomic Youth.
You guys heard about that thing that's happening on the Libyan border, right? There's some sort of compound out there. Something didn't feel right in the information flow of it, and it's a short video, and it's being repressed. It's an image of a very large, very secure, heavy-looking fence, and there are about 5 figures that sort of come up to the fence from the other side. They look very young, like adolescents at the oldest. And one of them pulls out a large, kind of very ragged-looking, kind of thrown together sign. It says, "Team Tomorrow, please help."
I mean,
No, we're going. I think there's something more to this.
well, okay. Are we?
I am. You can come with me if you like.
Well, Soldier Boy, ain't we got a chain of command here?
We have
Okay.
to go.
Yeah.
I agree. We have the resources of Team Tomorrow available to us, which includes Slider, so we can get there nice and quick. And in case this is a trap or if things go sideways, then we'll have somebody else who can come in and make sure that we don't, get reduced to chunky salsa.
I agree. Nisha, do you know who spiked this?
Let me see. Utopia spiked it.
And the door immediately opens, and Alexander walks directly to. He's got a small entourage of people. They don't going. I apologize for this, but I'm putting you all on lockdown. As I said, I apologize. I'm putting you all on lockdown. You are not to leave the premises. I know you all have questions, so let's hear it out.
I mean, the most obvious is why.
Well, isn't it? That should also be obvious. You all would react accordingly.
So who's taking care of this then?
There are individuals. The situation is on our radar, and we are going through appropriate channels, as these things can be quite sensitive. If Utopia was to send off Team Tomorrow, or even yourselves Team Tomorrow, and willy-nilly, it would, spook a lot of people, very powerful people, thinking that we could just do as we want no matter the situation, which is not conducive to our core mission of Utopia, which is cohabitation and the betterment of humanity.
You would think that part of that also includes helping people in need who clearly are asking for your help, though. It's been 2 days, and we're not even learning about this from you.
Correct. There was still some debate to determine if we were going to inform you or not. Do remember that Utopia funds this team and makes the decisions of what you do or do not get to do, of which you are currently as being ordered not to be involved in this. This is too sensitive, and I would I would hate to see any of you hurt. It would hurt me, as it were, and not to mention what the news would be if one of Team Tomorrow's beloved members was KIA, as it were.
Then why let us? No, go ahead, Virginia.
Alexander, please, you of all people recognize that part of the training and the reason that we're even here is that we believe in the ideals of heroism. To sit by where children are suffering, I believe, dishonors that completely.
I sympathize greatly, but currently the threat is too high for you from our situation. That does not mean you won't be involved potentially, especially now that you know and cat is out of the bag. I doubt we could keep you from it in the long term. But for right now, I am asking you, and I am ordering you to stay inside. Also, do not communicate about what you know to other people. There are... Go ahead.
So, which is it? Is it because there's a a sensitive situation and there's people who could get spooked, or is it because there's a threat to us?
Both.
Uh-huh.
There are initial reports have that there are some substantial ordnance that had been put in place. Anti-nova ordnance. Things that only one of you currently are physically capable of potentially weathering without
Then I'll be
serious
able to stand in front. Ain't that convenient? It's my job.
Yes, but there's only one of you and there's 4. That does
Yes,
I
but the point is that they'd have our signs, they have our t-shirts. This is a PR moment that you are ignoring right now. You just need to give us the proper backup and we can help. Now. It's already been 2 days. You can't afford to be behind this.
well, unfortunately, and I do, and please understand my position. I have to work within the confines of the bureaucracies that are outside Utopia, and they don't work. We're efficient, and they are less efficient than we are. So, getting proper clearance, getting the right nations to back the play of any sort of intercession on Utopia's part is quite substantial. And I know, and it's terrible, it's horrible, but if we want to do this right, it does take time. 2 days
Cestus
is
Pax does not go flying to a burning building after forms are stamped in triplicate.
but generally when there's a burning building, their local authorities can give permission for the firefighters to go in.
And what local authorities are in a dematerialized zone in Libya?
There are 2 nations currently in barely holding any sort of civility between them, and this place seems to be right in the middle. If we transgress without their permission, it will be an instant. And
Well,
then
then
this
tell me
could
who I need to talk to and I'll get us the permission.
Anthony, you are a remarkable young man, and you will lead and do great things. But if you do not think we do not have individuals just as good, or if not better than you are, at persuasion, dealing with something like this, you sorely underestimate Utopia.
I don't underestimate them. I'm just asking why it's taken them 2 fucking days to get there, to do it.
Because people have to make
Because.
decisions.
It's
when
always
these-
because, isn't it, Alexander?
One of
It
his
was down-
assistants
Yeah.
sort of intervenes and says, like, now we have been investigating options. We're not going to ask you to just sit here on your hands. There are things you can do. We have been talking with people in the area as well as people who are organizing aid campaigns, protest efforts, ways of putting pressure on the situation on both the governments involved as well as the United Nations to act more quickly in regard to this. We can certainly put you in the right places where your reputations and your persuasiveness can bolster these efforts and put pressure on things so that we can move things in. And I know, Alexander, you like to not talk about some of the bigger wheels that are moving, but I think these kids have earned the right. We're not going to intervene. We are
true.
going to send people to deal with this as soon as it is appropriate to do so.
Correct. I was going to get to that, but
Now,
anyways,
like I said, there are a number of options. We can spread you around. There are protests, like I said, in the area. There's aid organizations in the area to take care of things. There's a large protest, I believe, getting taken care of at the United Nations building tomorrow morning that we are supporting, and you can certainly help out there.
Excuse me.
Yes, go ahead.
Why are they all Novas?
Excuse me?
The children. Why are they Novas? Why are
We
they being
don't-
collected?
We don't think they're all Novas.
Okay. Sorry,
Our
thought-
initial reports don't have. If there is any novas, there's only 1 or 2 at most in
okay.
the area. as far as we're
Abby
aware.
misunderstood the description then. Don't mind me.
Why would you? Do you have information that we that may be relevant.
No, it was an impression from the review of the footage.
You know what, Waterlily? I reckon we should do what they say, and we should just sit here and not talk to anyone about any relevant information that we may or may not have garnered from the video clip. As Alexander has just said, they've got plenty of people that are at least as capable as we are. So surely, if you noticed anything, then they already know. So let's just.
Well, if I get the meaning of your tone,
You should leave now,
Mm.
Alexander. I reckon your business is done here.
It is not.
Oh, do you have 2 more hours to explain something to us?
Yes.
We don't need to fall into spite here. This is important.
We are trying. We should all try to work together. I'm trying.
You got a funny fucking way of doing it, buddy.
As I said, as my assistant said, there are contingencies, and we will keep you in the loop if we are finally able to do something. But until then, please be patient. I know it will be hard.
The assistant sort of brings out some information packets. It's like, this is all the information that we have regarding the efforts that we think that you can contribute to. Information about the protest tomorrow and various campaigns that you can throw your support behind for aid and support of the situation. By all means, use your reputations. Use probably one of the greatest things that you've gained from being a Nova. That is the respect of the world.
To clarify, thank you for giving them those. It's not that people don't know about the situation. They just don't. They specifically don't know that these captives, for lack of a better term, asked for you specifically. There are people that know. The public does know, and you can bring greater awareness to it. But we knew that if footage like this was to get out publicly, there'd be a huge outcry. And this would cause untold complications, not for yourselves, but the public and potentially these children that are being held captive. So I will leave you to your thoughts. I am here. If you have any questions, you can call upon me. Feel free to email me, or if you need to talk in person, I'm willing to see you in my office. Is there anything you need from me?
I will have questions later, and I will let you know. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Try to get some rest. We will do something about this. And he proceeds to leave.
I will crater the wall next to the door.
Correct. Okay, gotcha. Your fist goes into it, but since you're not utilizing like your entire ability, you do hear a clank sound as you realize that wall, probably the entire wall in this facility, is reinforced. So you do make a dent into it, but it's definitely stronger than a normal building.
Where are the cameras in this room and the listening devices that he was obviously using to know that we were planning on leaving?
Well, there are sort of fairly obvious cameras, like surveillance cameras, in the corners of the area, as there are in the entire building. You don't know if there's more secret ones around, but there are fairly obvious cameras around.
There's no obvious cameras in like private areas, like the bathroom and stuff like that, but in like the common area, there's definitely cameras.
I'm gonna get underneath one of them in the blind spot, and I'm just gonna tinker for a bit. I want to see how it's working, what it's connected to, where other devices that might be connected that are transmitting information to the same. Just for my own sake of mine.
That'll definitely be a technology roll.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
You have digital manipulation, digital scan, and telecommunication. Okay.
And
Yeah,
I'll,
digital scan would definitely come into
Mhm.
play here.
And telecommunication just means you can just naturally do it. You don't even have to touch it.
Yeah.
in Virginia, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be spiteful towards him. I was just trying to get him to maybe get something else to spill or try to leverage us into doing more. Yeah, I wasn't just trying to be hateful at him. I hope you understand. I'm sorry.
Energy cunning.
No, I do. I just know that we're all angry, and he's gonna be one of our steps to getting more information. If we step this wrong, then we'll miss something important too.
No,
I
you saw that
mean,
they were trying to throttle our information. He's the step to stopping us from getting information,
yeah.
or at
But
least the information that they want us to know.
I mean, and that's the thing. If you treat, a person who wishes to be obstructive as a simple barricade, then you won't get anything done. However, if you are able to negotiate or come to terms, you'll get something at least.
Well, then go talk to him then.
That was my plan, yes.
All right.
All right.
Because they weren't wearing your t-shirts. They're wearing mine.
I understand that the t-shirt's important to you. Trust me, we're all involved here.
So for circuit, we're gonna go probably with a technology cunning roll, and you can do this at visual range. You don't even have to leave the blind spot to do some of this stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I just rolled that with 2 successes.
Okay. See, we'll give you enhancement from hacking because this was an Enigma's roll, right? Or
Yeah.
No, this was a
Tech.
technology
yeah.
cunning.
Then that specialty absolutely applies. So an additional success.
Okay.
So what exactly did you want to know again?
I want to know basically where the information from these cameras is going and where other devices that are also going to that same location are in like the common room, or if there's any in our bedrooms, just any that might not be visibly obvious.
All right, sure. You backtrace it. It's definitely going to a server lower in the compound. Obviously, a couple security zones or offices have access to your feeds in the common area. There are a couple of hidden cameras and or hidden microphones. None are in like the restroom or anything. There's typically one in each bedroom. And there's a one or two more in the common room that is hidden. That's fairly well hidden. You don't know exactly where they are in the room. You just know that there is more data coming from this room to these servers than what you can account for what you visually see. That's how you're sort of breaking it down to know that something more is going on in the room.
Okay. Let's see. She's just gonna kind of. Wait, don't I have? Thought I had a way to communicate with people. No, that's through telecommunication, which I don't want to do right now. Okay. She's gonna go into her bedroom and see if she can locate, like leaving the conversation, just immediately go in her bedroom and try and
Okay.
locate the one that's there.
Give me another cunning tech roll. This will be a little more difficult, just so you know.
Okay. It's 4 dice.
Is anyone else doing anything while she's taking care of this?
I am gonna go try and talk to him. So
Okay,
whatever
so
you all...
you're heading out down to the lower levels where the offices are. Okay.
Correct, yes.
What about Anthony or Levon?
I don't know if everyone else knows this, but I can use telecommunications, or at least if Circuit knows this. So I'll probably transmit her a message just to say, like, I don't think they can hear us if we talk like this.
Okay. Yeah, that's easy enough done.
Yeah, if you guys probably have like earbuds and stuff, so you
Mhm.
can definitely broadcast specifically to specific people that you are aware of.
Oh, hell yeah. Then while she's in her room, she'll respond back with that. Yeah, you're right. But they apparently have, at least in addition to the stuff that we can see in the common room, they have ones in our bedroom as well. I'm trying to find mine.
That's annoying as hell.
Is
Oh, it's
Schwarzschild
2 successes.
is Schwarzschild doing anything?
I'm messaging Fawn,
Okay.
just on my personal device, which I'm sure has been bugged to hell and back. So,
Um, anyone who feels like it can give me a humanities roll.
yeah, I'll try that.
Humanities and
And a mental ability.
okay.
I'm gonna do intellect.
All right.
Yeah.
Do resolve.
I do not have points there, unfortunately.
Can I botch?
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
I botch.
All right.
2,
So
That
3.
adds the momentum pool.
yep, we're at 5 right now.
3 successes.
Okay, is anyone else making that roll?
Yeah, I botched.
Okay, fantastic. So 2 more momentum. Yay. Okay,
it's 7 right now.
yeah. While you are sort of going over things, you kind of think back like, is this okay for them to be doing this to us? And you like kind of mentally go over and like you actually like pull up your contract that you signed when you joined Project Utopia. And there is a very, it's not like hidden or obfuscated. There's a clause in your contract while on Project Utopia facilities, you are subject to audio and visual surveillance.
While on the facilities, not necessarily meaning the drone was legit that followed Schwarzschild.
There's a sub clause of like, when there's basically language in there that says like if it is felt that there's a security risk, for sort of basically like it's a wellness monitor, including like going out by yourself is one of the clauses where you're subject to surveillance for your own safety. And there's clauses of like certain clauses like that, like when you turn 18 will phase out. But the surveillance clause on like Project Utopia facilities is like stock standard. They very clearly state we basically monitor everyone while they're here. So use that information as you wish.
Back to circuit. Back to your finding the bug in your room. How many successes you get? 3?
2.
2. Through telecommunications, you can definitely find one. There may be another. You're not sure. This was difficult to find. They're using more advanced technology to try to counter your quantum abilities. So definitely some fairly advanced R&D went into this type of stuff. Keep it from being easily detected.
Okay. As a new personal project that might take precedence then.
Okay. It takes you a few minutes. Like that's why it was hard. Generally you can go you can just go, all right, there's a thing. This actually took you like more intense concentration.
Yeah, and is it more of just a listening device or is it
This one that you found was the video.
okay?
The audio is harder because it's not using as much data, and that's primarily what you're using to figure out where it is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll use telecommunication to let them know. And it seems like it's probably going to be one audio, one video in everybody else's bedroom as well.
That tracks.
Okay.
Positive.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
just gonna let them know, and I will see what I can do to ensure a little bit of privacy for us. But until then, we probably should still go into the common room and discuss things, but just be probably more aware of what we're discussing.
Okay. So you're trying to block the listening devices at least?
Uh, I would like to try to ideally loop it,
Okay.
so it would just like continue to play like what whatever it usually picks up,
Like just ambient noise.
or same with the video, just like, oh, there's nothing out of the ordinary, but
Right. I will let you know you can totally do this. This will be a fairly difficult role because you're not like you can interface with it, but you don't know all the specifics of what redundancies they have, where the data is going, how it's being copied, who's watching it, etc., and so forth and so on.
Mhm.
So I will let you remind you that there is momentum to use as well as pushing your powers. That could potentially help you.
So much momentum.
That's right, we do have momentum.
Yep.
Let's see. Trying to see if there would, because all my powers are pretty actually passive, with the exception of.
But okay, so pushing your powers, it doesn't have to be a power that exists currently. You can exhibit new powers, increase, give yourself mega attributes, give yourself more mega attributes that you already have, give yourself whole new mega edges. The entire system is at your disposal. So if you want to increase your mega ant while you do this, you totally can do that.
That would be sexy.
While you're looking up that,
Yeah, I don't want to
Virginia,
take all the time.
You make your way down through the down to the administrative levels of Project Utopia. It's kind of late at night right now, so there's not a lot of people around in the offices. But you do eventually make your way to kind of the Nova Relations office where Alexander has his office.
Along the way, have I heard anybody else? Like, is there any other activity that seems based around this?
Yeah, I mean, you can like stop, you can like look in onto various offices. There are people here, and you see a couple places that have, you know, screens up and planning things about this Ogun uh, encampment situation. So it looks like there are people working on it.
Okay. Then yeah, no, if she can't really glean information that way, then she will immediately, proceed on to the office.
You see it. He's got one of the nicer offices. Obviously, his door is open. You see him at the desk. He looks like he just got a fresh cup of coffee, and is looking over some paperwork on his pad. His back is to the door, and he's like making some notes.
And she'll tap, tap, tap on the door.
And he looks up and looks over. He looks over to you, and you notice when he turns around. This is the first time whenever you see Alexander, it's always on his terms.
Mm-hmm.
And so he always looks extremely professional and pretty well paid. He looks a little. You can immediately pick up. He looks a little tired, and there's slight bags under his eye. There's a little fatigue in his movements. These are very subtle things that you're able to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's sort of in a more relaxed position, because you notice that when he wants to, it appears that he's able to keep himself. He can project what he wants to people.
Got it.
Yeah, Virginia, please come in. I
Thank
was just
you.
finishing up some late night work, as it were.
Yes, I imagine there's plenty more to come.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot more late nights than I'd like, but this is the work I have chosen.
Is it all us?
Mostly.
It's fair.
But it is not. You're not the cause. This entire facility needs management, and I am one of a few individuals that can handle certain aspects of it.
You recognize that your handling goes over like a lead balloon with part of the team, right?
Yes, and I'm really sorry about that.
Okay.
Uh, but I feel that I don't have much other option. Um, I'm not going to give you platitudes about you being children, but um, there
That's
are.
good.
I need to be stern. Unfortunately, there are things that you all cannot handle. You're not ready to handle, and someone has to make that assessment.
Well, I'm one, of course, interested in your logic, but also the harder you push, the more pushback you're going to get. I want us to stay safe, but I think together we can talk about ways that this could work, or at least information that I can bring back. If you give us
That's
nothing, we'll go digging. You know that.
it's true. It's not exactly poor advice. Please sit. Do you need anything?
Um, and she'll sit down of the, no, not at the moment, aside from answers.
Okay, very well. Um, he pushes a button and he closes the door. There is still like glass, so people can easily see in. But the door closes just so for a little more privacy. So, what answers would you like?
We're sort of coming to this late. Who is a goon?
Goon, we don't have much information on him. He was he. We know that's not his real name. That is his Nova name, for lack of a better term. The thing he likes to be called now. He was a De Vere's Nova that took a couple sparse um, contracts during the Equatorial Wars. Um, not a very efficient but brutal individual. He went dark for a few years, for the last 2 years, and now he's cropped up again, and he seems to be doing something in this area. Maybe he's a fledgling warlord. I don't know exactly. We This just came on our radar within the last 3 days.
Okay. Do you have any idea why they were asking for us?
I don't know that either. That's still a question that gets me. Maybe because you are to these people, to these children, you are children. You are like them, and but you have power, and you can free them.
Yes, we could. Um, the situation, of course, being that I understand you're dealing with diplomatic issues. If the diplomatic issues were cleared, would we be able to intervene directly?
Possibly.
Because
And
we
like
want to go, and you know that.
yes. And I'm not Virginia, you have to understand, I both have to keep protect Utopia, protect this team, and then protect each of you individually as people. Because Ogun and potentially what he's got from a military standpoint could obliterate most of your team. And the death of 3 children on my hands is quite distasteful for me.
I understand. And I can feel for your stress in this situation. You've been placed in a very difficult position. You have people that are being trained, as much as you say children, we are we are being trained for heroism. We are being tasked with it every day. I wasn't just spouting off as much as I'm capable of it in the room. There are responsibilities that we've taken on here.
It's true, but not every Nova, every hero is apt to deal with every problem. Now, I'm not saying you can't help, but there has to be a proper approach. We don't know everything he's got in that facility. We don't know where he is. He could be there. We think he's there, but or he may not be.
If he's not, all the better.
True, but we can't be there sure because if he is there, that is a level threat that would almost warrant an entire team tomorrow going in.
If we could, and I know that this is something that you have difficulty trusting us with, but I am attempting to remain at least a balancing factor in the emotions and tensions that have been built up on this. If we could have assurances, real assurances from the others that we could enact a proper retreat at a sign of Ogun, would we be able to act? If you
Possibly.
trusted us to retreat, would you let us go? Matt, if necessary, I would also like to use negotiation in the conversation
Yeah, you
as a
actually
spec.
want to like socially manipulate him?
Yeah, or at least get him to see our point of view. Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. We can totally do that. He is definitely on the fence, and this could tilt it in your favor. So let's look at Waterlily. Okay. How would you like to? What would you? I'm assuming this is persuasion.
Correct.
And how would you like to go about doing this? Manipulation?
Yes, we are
Okay.
going with manipulation, if only because it's getting him to change his mind.
Correct. Okay. I will. Yeah. So that's going to be persuasion plus manipulation. Your leadership scale to his is not as different as you think. His is 2, yours is 3. So you only have a little bit of scale above him.
No problem.
And yeah, big-hearted.
Yes,
Oh,
she is big-hearted, and I don't know if strength of conviction will apply.
That's if you're commanding. You're not
Okay,
going to
no.
command him.
No, we're not commanding.
He will make a roll, and there will be modifiers on him.
Okay, excellent.
He's got a composure of at least.
And permission from team to get back into the momentum again.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Do it.
Do it.
Those botches were for you, so.
They're for all of us. We botch for all
No,
of us.
that I purposely sacrificed.
Yeah,
Gotta
botches were
love
the
it,
friends
man.
we made along the way. What?
Definitely. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so
Yeah, seriously, take more, like take 2 or 3.
How much you gonna take?
if they're saying it, we'll go for the 3. Sure,
Okay.
I'll dig it in. Let's see if we can get what we want here.
Yep.
Get it.
Okay, I have for base rolling 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 4 successes, and then we're just going straight into enhancements.
Yeah, okay. You've been talking to him, and you've kind of gotten the beat of him. You, and this is up to you. I'll let you interpret that as you see fit. Either you intentionally or unintentionally are very much actively using your more passive abilities to get him to concede to your point of view.
Okay.
Because you do have like revealing composure, you have calming composure, you have abilities that really get people on a one-on-one situation, really like grind them down to who they are and make them be who they are as people.
Yeah, I think she's not trying to like aggressive or anything like that, but I really think like that's digging into trying to get the bureaucracy off him for a second.
Correct. You're removing the mask that he puts on in order to do his job, and that's getting him to the heart of him as a person. So yeah, he agrees with you that ultimately, if we could have certain assurances and get certain other novas in place, he would be okay with you going in once they got the green light.
Okay.
Because he does think this could potentially be very good experience for you and for the team as a whole and good publicity, but he's gotta like put all of these dominoes in front so it can all be knocked down in the right order.
Tell me what I need to take back to keep everybody balanced long enough.
Tell them.
We can balance this, or we can keep them in order, I think, for a short amount of time, but I need to know something to give.
Tell them I will make some calls to I'll make some calls to a few members of team tomorrow. You all, I would suspect you will hear something from them directly.
Okay.
And
So
because I promise you, this will not happen unless there's at least one or two team tomorrow members on standby for you.
and
If
I think
you
that's
are
very
close.
appropriate.
But again, they're very busy and they have, as your friend put it earlier, they're burning buildings to deal with. And while this is a disaster, there are more active things burning right now. But tell them that I've heard you and that I will put effort into contacting who needs to be contacted and making sure, absolutely sure, that you all are kept in the loop when it's time to prepare and to go.
Okay. I will take that back to them, and thank you for hearing me out. This is
I enjoy
what we're here for.
I actually am glad you were the one who came and talked to me. I find you to be the most, I wouldn't say agreeable, but the most genial of the bunch.
I think it's partially. I mean, and I do appreciate the compliment as it's intended. It also, I think, has to do with the fact that I can't yell, or so it's a bit of a conflicted sensation. Thank you, but I agree. I think that I'm at least able to provide a quieter, more reasonable sounding. They're very reasonable in their feelings. This is a rational outrage.
Please let them know if this will likely come up. I really do understand what they're going through. I feel you. There have been many situations I've been in that I want to act and I can't, and those above me prevent me from acting.
What do you do?
Yeah, and this is when I'm an adult. You're all still children. You have passion.
We are very close to adulthood. You know that. Okay. I'm going to go, but thank you for your time, and
No problem.
have a good rest of your evening.
So back
try to-
in the penthouse, Levon, you get a text message from Corbin. It just basically says, "How you doing, bud?"
In any of the conversations that Corbin and I have had, have we come up with any way of talking, like any sort of code or protocol that's like that can communicate information clandestinely?
Yeah, he set you up with an app on your phone that can essentially like do like point to point encryption between the two of you.
Okay, I'll go ahead and fire that up then, and I will give him a brief message that's essentially, like dented the wall about this whole Libya shit. Really feeling not cool with being locked down right now.
There's a little bit of lag between his when you send that and his response. He says like, "I completely understand. Um, what do you want to do?"
Go to Libya.
What about your friends?
I think we can handle it.
He says, "I know it's very frustrating, and it seems like there's a lot of bullshit and stalling going on. Why do you think that is?
The ellipsis appears several times as Levon types out, first a very visceral sort of gut reaction, but then thinks better of it and deletes it. Because they're probably right about the delicacy of the situation.
He says, they are, but you know that we wouldn't just sit by and not do something about this. It's going to happen. And if you want to come, I can make it happen. But this is the big leagues.
Would it be all of us or just me?
Can they follow orders?
Yes.
He says, get them all on the balcony by 20 minutes.
Okay. I will come into the common room and I'll look over to Nisha and kind of be like, so, thanks for letting me know about the things in my room. Sorry. Thanks for letting me know about the, things in my room. Are they out here in the common room too?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If you have, let's go ahead and have you do your roll about
Yep.
trying to
Yep.
loop that.
Okay.
So that'll definitely be another cunning technology roll to
Yep.
Okay.
interface with that.
Technology.
And if you want to
Can I-
max out and push it, you can definitely do that.
I was about to say, is there momentum to borrow, or how does pushing it work?
There
You
is
so you take a point of flux
Mhm.
and you spend quantum up to your quantum rating to get dice.
Okay.
So
Yes.
how many dice pools how much dice do you want to get, and how much, if any, in additional flux do you want to take to get enhancement on the roll?
I believe I could take up to 3 flux because my quantum is 3,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to go ahead and do that.
Okay, so you're
So I'm gonna spend
so you're
the
spending
quantum.
okay, so you're
the
spending
3 quantum.
3 quantum to get 3 dice, and then 3 flux. So you're taking 4 flux.
Yep.
And then you roll 3 dice, and then you apply 3 enhancement to the roll.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. That's a botch
Okay. So
So
on
you
those
gain
3 dice.
so you gain an additional point of flux.
and something probably something happens.
Yeah, you push yourself. You bring up your sort of internal reserves of like the quantum power that quickens your thoughts, and something's off about it. Like you just sort of start sending yourself into like internal logic loops and like following down like really strange ways of thinking, and like you just sort of feel like this just rush of unorganized chaotic energy just fill your thoughts.
Yeah, she just kind of just starts shaking her head back and forth and just kind of motioning with her hand like across her neck to in Levon's position for a few seconds, and just and then I'm gonna use Spark's telecommunication to just in the earbud, just like I can't, I can't stop them right now from listening.
All right. Well, I recommend that we all step out on the balcony and get some fresh air. Would you mind paying Lily and getting her up here too?
Yeah, I can do that. Um, yeah, I'm using Spark. I'll connect to Lily's. I love telecommunication. It's so good.
It is
It's
pretty
good.
good.
You are
Um,
your own cell phone.
I am. It's great. Hey, Lily, we're going to go out on the balcony for some fresh air. Can you join us ASAP?
Yeah, no, I have some really exciting news. I got us a deal with Alexander, so I'll be right up and I'll tell you all about it.
So
Awesome.
just so you know, if she has telecommunication, if you don't have it, you can't really actively
Oh, I
communicate.
thought she was
back.
talking and I was just talking back on the communicator.
Yeah, it
No,
doesn't.
no,
doesn't
it's
work
one way
directly
if you
like
don't
that.
if
The
you
one,
don't have it.
yeah.
Okay, never mind. So you send the message.
Done. Fresh air.
Okay, so you guys all convene on the balcony. And a couple minutes go by, and then Circuit, you are able to actually sense. You sort of felt out where all the listening devices were in general,
Mhm.
and you're kind of keeping an eye on that. And a couple minutes go by, and then your senses pick up that like the sources that are out here on the balcony all go dead.
Oh. She kind of thumbs up. It's like, we're good out here.
All right. So, real quick, Bender got in touch with me and he said that I think we can go to Libya, but if we go, we all got to follow orders.
That's what I was coming up to tell you. Alexander, I got him to come to terms. He's going to go ahead and call some backup for us. But yeah, as long as we're willing to retreat if actually we run across Ogun, because it's just too dangerous for us, then yeah, I think we can do this.
Well, shit.
All right.
I don't think that Bender was working on Alexander's initiative.
Oh no.
Well, tell you what, I can just go with Bender and y'all can go with Alexander and we'll just meet up in the middle.
I don't think I like the idea of you going off alone. I mean,
I'll
it's
go
not
with them.
alone, it's damn it.
Could split it. I mean, Anthony has a point. Then neither of them would be alone, and they're going to be with team tomorrow anyway.
And they are the ones that are most obvious or are most expected to have gone while I was doing all this.
I mean, yeah, if nothing else, I can take the brunt of the punishment because it already looks pretty obvious that I'm pissed off with Alexander, which I am. So,
I don't think you're going to like those consequences, Levon, but okay.
Well,
It is better to ask forgiveness than to beg permission.
exactly.
Beg forgiveness than ask permission.
I,
But you already asked, so technically we're just misinterpreting what you were told.
technically, we're acting on our own initiative after getting permission.
Technically, I should tell you both to stop it and try and stick to the original plan, so don't play with technically here.
Well,
Okay.
the only person who's technically is Circuit. So what do you think?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, you can do the same thing I can do as far as telecommunication. I mean, I have to use Spark to do it, but you can keep us up to date and we can let you know when we're going to be incoming.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think this can work.
Circuit, I need you to roll your digital scan.
Sure.
That's tech plus cunning.
Yep. All right. That's 1, 2. 2 successes.
2 successes. You detect a source of energy. Just sort of approach the area, and like come up to like right in front of the balcony where you guys are. Um, there's some you sense some like fairly potent technological device make its way up to the balcony.
She would have like started to raise her hand, like in the everyone quiet kind of thing, and kind of back up a bit, and kind of motion everybody else back to the door frame. I have time.
Yeah, you have time.
Okay.
But yeah, as you guys are like if you follow her lead, backing up.
Yeah.
Basically, a door opens in the middle of the balcony, out on the balcony, and there's like a slight shimmering around it, where something vaguely like helicopter size seems to be like hovering in front of your balcony. And this open door comes up, and you see about 5 people in like blackout tactical gear suits, sort of waiting. And one of them sort of pulls a mask off, and it is a Bender, Andre Corbin. And he says, "All right, kids, if you're coming, you're coming."
It'll be me and Anthony. Let's go.
See you guys when we see you.
You sure you want to do this without your full team?
I prefer that they came with us, but
I think they're going to be doing something with Alexander at the same time. I hope at the same time.
He's like, "All right, let me put the cards on the table for you kids. The reason why there's all this stalling is because our team is going in tonight, and they want plausible deniability. So you guys can mop up with the regulars all you want, but the action's happening tonight."
Kind of look over at
Yeah,
Lily and Virginia and just kind of like shrug her hands and like point to the portal. Eh?
If you're all going, then I'm coming with you.
hell yeah.
just let me put on my armor.
He's like, "Oh, we've got better armor for this sort of thing."
Ruby. Thank you, sir.
And yeah, you guys pile into this like stealth invisicopter, and it rockets off into the night sky. And that's where we'll end it this week. Tune in next time to see where things go from here on Aberrant Atomic Youth. Don't forget to follow the characters on Twitter to see more of the story, and follow Simulacra RPGs for updates on the show and the channel. If you'd like to support the show, you can subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels at Simulacra TV, but the best way is to go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios and become a patron. A big thanks to our $5 and up patrons. You keep the story going, and we couldn't do it without you. Until next time, remember, your legacy is our future.